Hi guys, it's Rachel here and I am just doing an introductory video to Corrine, To Be Loved Treasures by Corrine and Dawn Meldrums. Her channel is Dawn Meldrum. I'll link them in the description box. I'm joining in on their wonderful project. Oh, you can see my floor. Anyway, so I think it's called, I'm going to get that name right, girls, Timeless Curiosities. I think so. Timeless Curiosities. If it's not, I'll correct myself in the next video. Anyway, they are finding a treasure box and then using special treasures and creating projects from what I understood. I haven't watched their first videos yet. It's been a busy morning, but I think that's what they're doing. On my shelf, I had this box. And look what I wrote, precious fabrics on there. They're not actually that precious. They're just nice. They're not old. Some of them are old. But anyway, I'm going to empty it out. There's some cut velvet there, just strips, and that's just a piece of linen. I think it's a Rubelli linen though. Yes, Rubelli, very expensive, but it's just an offcut that I bought from a seller. Oh, look, I was looking for those. Seam binding. That's just an old vintage Italian thing. That was a bag that was made for me. I could use that. More cut velvet. And then there's just bits and pieces in here that I had thrown in here. This my aunt gave me. This is very beautiful metal trim. So I'll go through that. And some of that, will, because it's been living in this box, I think some of this will have to be included. That's a very old piece of trim. There's some nice laces in here. Oh, goodness. So they may have to be in some of them. Not all of them. May have to. Oh, someone. I don't know where that came from. That's nothing special. That's something that Mum's made. Oh, there's a watch in here. What watch is that? Lulu embroidered that. So I should keep that. Anyway, I do have treasures in here. As I said, not all old. That's old. I think that came from my aunt as well. Anyway, so I'm going to empty this out. Maybe pull aside some things that I might be able to use in the project. I haven't actually understood 100% what's happening, but I'll work it out. And I know that we're meant to use treasures. So my thought was, like, Corrine's being inspired by her blue and white china. And I have some lovely, I've got 4 big and small, one big and the other 3 is small barbouton, but they're like dimensional. And I thought I should be inspired by that, but I thought no, I'm going to be inspired by, wait for it, my very old antique Italian fabrics. I thought, what better way to create projects, and maybe not, I won't maybe use just those. I might have some hemp in there. I might put, where they work, I might have a bit of my own printed fabrics. I don't know, because I don't know the project exactly yet. But I want to include using these types of fabrics, and shamefully, I have more. This is just some of them that I could get to. So this is an old priest thing, and it needs to be pulled apart, because if you can see, it was done on moire. It's a moire, sort of like a silk with metal thread through it, but it's coming apart. Look at this. It's very fragile, but I'd love to stitch that down onto something and recuperate it. So the trim needs to be very carefully removed. This one's been machine stitched. Normally they're hand stitched, and then of course the very blingy metal fringe, which is very hard to come by now. So I'll carefully take that off. It'll all be carefully taken off if I decide to use that one. This is one of the priest gowns that they would put over the very flouncy shirts. But I haven't seen this pattern. Again, it's silk, and look at the beautiful hand-dyed hemp on the back, or linen. And this one is all hand-stitched. So I need to do something with that. This is just part of one, and all of the trimmings have come. That's a moire silk. All the trimmings have already been taken off by someone. Beautiful linen or hemp on the back. And they're just remnants. This one. So this one, see, it was stitched to hemp. Really interesting. Look at that pattern, and look at the mending. And then it's got the beautiful linen on the back. This must have been hanging up because look, it's got that. I'll even love that. So that again, some of the trims have been taken off. It's all been pat. There's some mending that just makes me so happy. Oh my God, this one. See, I've scanned these. This is 1700s, this one. It's actually in good condition. And I don't know if I can cut it up, but we'll see what the project holds. There's no point in me keeping it in a drawer. I don't have walls that I can hang it up on. I mean, I do have walls, but I live in an apartment, guys. I don't have that much space. So whether or not I use it, I could just use a little piece of it like that, this over here or this here. Now the blue. So the antique dealer told me that the Vatican had banned the use of blue for the priest's garments. But in the countrysides, in the little towns, they still produced it. They just ignored the ban because they liked the blue. So blue is very rare. But I thought I might frame a piece of it and then I can use the rest. And if I'm feeling generous, I might do a pack or 2 packs with something like that. But don't ask me because I haven't decided yet. This is just a very old 1800s fabric. And I have a big piece of that. I have put it in kits sometimes. It's been taken off a couch or something like that. And parts of it have birds. This one doesn't, but parts of it have birds. But I thought I could do something with that. This is a very old French fabric. It's an Indienne that I bought a while ago, and it's got birds and things, but I thought if I need to incorporate other fabrics, that might be a thing. I mean, look at his little face. Hello. So I thought I could, I've got a nice piece of that, so I thought I could maybe do something. This is an 1800 silk. I just picked it up at the Retso Antique Market. I don't think it was very expensive either. And I haven't done anything with that yet, so there's that possibility. And then I have lots of little pieces. I have more downstairs, like all these little pieces. So I'm very happy to use those where they've just been recuperated from damaged garments. That's 1800s. See that technique, the boucle, that could be, that might be early 1800s. I don't know if that pattern, I'm trying to think when I studied textiles, the history of textiles. I did study all the patterns, but I don't remember them all. Look at that piece. And then this was a pocket. Actually, I could sew that onto my jacket. There's a thought. I'll put that aside. That's just a piece of old silk, but look at that. There, I love that. That makes me happy. And this piece, again, it's the blue, and this. Something could happen with that. And then this silk piece where they've just, look how they've put it all just together. And look at those seams. The seams are wonderful. It's very fragile. I think a metal trim. I can see the stitching is in a scallop. I've got metal trims that are like, that's probably was one of those. It's been taken off. So I would have no issues. This is another one, but I've got small pieces of this one. This again is one that I might have trouble cutting up, that one. Actually, I could take this bit down here and then keep the big bit up there. So I have the things I have to sort of sit on and think about, not actually sit on them, but then I've got this remnant here. So I could just use that. Actually, there's some wording there. Hadn't seen that before. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's a stamping of whatever diocese it belonged to, or convent. And you can see that one is borderline, whether it's it could be, I think it's early 1800s. It's got that where you see the long threads in the back. And I think this one is a similar style, yes, but different colour. And then look at this. So I have made things up out of remnants, but that would be lovely frames. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I've got a few bits of those. They've come off something. Just showing you the types of things. And then I have a drawer of little treasures that I might use. There's those. And then look at this green one. This one is 1700s because she told me. And you can see that it's the design, but you can also see the technique on the back. So that's really special. And then I have these. Oh, I use this. I'll be using this. You'll see me using some of this. I had a few of these. I think I might have another one somewhere. They're just old 1800s embroideries, but they've come off something. I don't know what. And they're at a funny angle, so they need to be reused. So I might use something like that. And then I've got some more little pieces, which is probably what I'll be more inclined to lean towards to use, then cut into the big ones straight away. So that's the type of thing I'm going to use. I'll pull out trims. I might use some laces. I've got some other embroideries, like little pieces of embroideries that have been, someone's cut off a very damaged piece. So that's what I'm going to put in that box. So that way they find a home and they get out of the box, out of the drawer. So I'll put those there like that. This is going to be what I'm going to do for the timeless curiosities. I'm going to use some of my really old fabrics. It's an opportunity to play and pull them out. If I do that, then I might be more inclined to share instead of hoard, because I've been hoarding. And yeah, so we'll see where we go. So I'm very excited about it. Corrine and Dawn, thank you so much for hosting it. I'm excited to participate in the challenge and not be hosting it. And I also want to support you guys and give back. And I think it's going to be a really, really, really fun project. So stay tuned and let's see what happens. Have a great Saturday. Bye.